Cooperation among peoples cannot possibly be dissociated from freedom. Brazil has enshrined the principles of peace, cooperation, and the prevalence of human rights in its own constitution, and has traditionally contributed to translate them into reality. Brazil has by now taken part in more than 50 peacekeeping operations and related missions, and has, as such, contributed with more than 55,000 members of the military, police officers, and civilians, with remarkable involvement in the Suez Canal, Angola, East Timor, Haiti, Lebanon, and the Congo. 2 Brazilian female members of the military were acknowledged by the United Nations as part of the UN mission in the Central African Republic for their work against sexual violence. We remain committed to completing the trade agreements signed between Mercosur and the European Union, as well as the European Free Trade Association. These agreements contain important provisions that reinforce our commitment to environmental protection. Under my administration, Brazil finally puts behind the protectionist tradition and has now adopted trade liberalization as a key tool for growth and transformation. I reaffirm our commitment to the proposed reform of the World Trade Organization, which must provide us with the relevant disciplines in line with the new international realities. We are also approaching the official process for Brazil's accession to the OECD. To that end, we have already put in place the world's highest standards in all areas, to include financial regulation, digital security, and environmental protection. In my first year in office, we have successfully carried out the pension reform, and more recently, we submitted 2 new reform bills to Congress to include the tax system and the administrative reform of the state apparatus. New regulatory frameworks in key sectors such as sanitation and natural gas are also being put in place. They will attract more investments, provide economic stimulus, and create jobs and income. In 2019, Brazil was the world's 4th largest destination of foreign direct investment. And in the first half of 2020, despite the pandemic, we have seen increased inflow of foreign investments as compared to the same period last year. This is clear-cut evidence of the world's confidence in our government. In coordination with its South Atlantic partners, Brazil has been working to reinvigorate the South Atlantic Peace and Cooperation Zone. Brazil is concerned with and repudiates terrorism in all parts of the world. In Latin America, we continue to strive for the preservation and promotion of democracy as a cornerstone of the economic progress we all desire. Liberty is humankind's greatest asset. I call upon the entire international community to protect religious liberty and fight Christ's phobia. I also wish to reaffirm my solidarity and support to the people of Lebanon in the wake of the recent hardships they have endured. We believe that the time is right for us to open up new and more optimistic horizons for the future of the Middle East. The peace agreements between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, and between Israel and Bahrain, 3 friends of Brazil with which our government has greatly strengthened relations, are excellent news. Brazil also welcomes the Plan for Peace and Prosperity, recently launched by President Donald Trump, which features a promising vision to resume the path towards a much-desired solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict after more than 7 decades of efforts. Brazil's new policy of simultaneously pursuing closer relations with Israel and the Arab countries is very much in line with those initiatives, which finally shine a light of hope for that region. Brazil is a Christian and conservative country and has family as its foundation. May God bless us all. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank the President of the Federative Republic of Brazil for the statement just made. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of the United States to introduce an address by the head of state.